What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Beard. My name is Devin, and this channel is devoted to keeping you in the know with everything that's happening in the cryptosphere. Let's get into today's video because there has been a lot that has happened over the past 24 hours. So let's get into it. Right now, let's take a look at the crypto markets. I got my laptop sitting right in front of me, and currently, right now, at this second, we are down. As far as the global market goes, we're down 12.5%. Bitcoin now hovering just over 17,000, which, as I have previously stated, that's where I kind of see the floor for Bitcoin. So we're going to see if my theory holds up as far as that being the floor. I honestly don't think we're going to be seeing like huge downward dips, like well below 16,000 or anything like that. We may be dipping down into the $16,000 range, high 16,000, but we're not going to see any big, massive, long-term dip under 17 grand for a long, extended period of time. At least that's my opinion. Could I be wrong? Yes, I don't know everything, guys. Sadly, I wish I did. It would sure make my life easier, but I don't, and I do give you what I do know, and I'm trying to help you guys out. So let's look a little bit at where FTX is sitting at right now. We're sitting at 71, down 71.7%, $4.22. So we are, we're experiencing pain. There's still not a huge bounce back, which I wouldn't expect there to be a massive bounce right now. But let's talk a little bit about what happened with FTX. Let's talk a little bit about FTT, SBF, and all of those good things right this second. So for starters, guys, yesterday, midterm elections, a lot of pent up fear, a lot of anxiety in the marketplace because people don't know what's going to happen, right? And what do people do when they don't know what is going to happen? They flock to safety. And a normal thing to flock to, if you're unsure, especially in financial assets, is go back to cash. And that's what we saw yesterday. We saw a huge move out of FTX, especially out of FTT specifically. And so now I want to preface this. We saw this huge move, but I want to talk a little bit about how there may have been some other factors at play other than just a whole bunch of people saying, "Oh, we're going to abandon ship." When we look at the markets and what happens, we have to ask ourselves the question: is what was the catalyst? And last week there was, I believe it was last week, there's a report that came out about not FTX, but the hedge fund that helped start FTX. And there was a report that basically showed that it appeared to be that they were heavily exposed to FTT, overly exposed. And so because they had this huge amount of holdings in their own coin, it looked like there may be some instability there or some risk of fallout there. And what we saw from that, actually what resulted from that, Binance actually started to sell off and had voiced that they intended on selling off, I think, most or if not all of their FTT holdings. And so this and surprisingly enough, the guys from the same hedge fund from FTX, they were saying, "Hey, let's, we'd be happy to buy your coins for," I think it was like $22 or whatever. And they said, no, we'll do it on the open market. Well, guys, what this causes, anytime you have a huge liquidity pool, if you have a big holder and you have this huge liquidity pool, it's going to cause downward price action, which is ultimately going to spur more of that downward price action, unless people think, "Oh, awesome buying opportunity." If they think, "Oh, the boat's on fire," they're gonna jump ship, which is exactly what we saw. And so that's what happened to FTT. A huge blow to FTX, huge blow to Sam Bankman-Fried and his net worth. But guys, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, and let's talk a little bit about that. Right now, we're down 71%, but we're not to nothing, right? So this is not the same situation as Luna. It's just not. It's a different ball game altogether, because we're not just talking about a digital stablecoin. In fact, the tokenomics for FTT are really good in mine and most other people's opinion. Most recently, I would have told you that it's a really good coin, and it still really might be a good play. But with that said, there's a huge hesitancy that is built around this coin now because of this movement, and also associated with other issues that Solana has had, because FTT, FTX, it's all tied to Solana. And so if we, if we're having doubts in the fundamentals behind Solana, we got to have those same doubts apply to FTX. And so that's where I see issues going. But let's talk a little bit about the future, guys, and what I see for the market here. This is a huge hit to the market. I mean, down 12.5% over 24 hours. That's not great, okay? But it's not the end of the world. When we look at something as big as FTX and that huge shift, that huge hit that they took, we should expect a big hit to the market. But it wasn't a death blow. It's not like we lost half of our value or anything like that. It's not like we even moved heavily past previous lows. We retested lows and set some newer, but it wasn't like such a deep shock. It's not like Bitcoin went down to 11,000 or anything like that. And I don't see that happening in the near future. If anything, I see we'll probably be on a green trend going in throughout the rest of the week. If it doesn't start today, expect it to start tomorrow. The bleeding is looking like it is stopping. And so what we're going to see after that is we're going to see people who see this as a buying opportunity, and they're going to get in, because these assets do have a ton of potential. And right now, even that's unknown. I'm actually working on a book to explain about how in the future I believe that Bitcoin, that digital assets like Bitcoin and others will be flocked to as the safe assets instead of going to cash, once there's some more education around inflation and around the manipulation that is in currencies across the world right now. And I think that as we see more and more people come to the realization of that, we're going to see that to be true. So I'll be releasing that book later on. Probably be giving it away to people on this channel. So if you've enjoyed this content, go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe so that way you don't miss anything and you don't miss any giveaways, because we're going to be doing that in the future as well. I love always chatting it up in the comments. So hit it up. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about where the market's headed. I think we're headed for greener pastures. I think this is an awesome buying opportunity. Look forward to bringing you more content. Thanks for everything, guys. We'll see you next time. That's it for today. Peace.